Good morning, guys. Or is it a good morning? I don't know. I've had a crappy month, I'll be honest. Oh, man. Right, so I guess I've titled this stream "Why I Almost Quit YouTube," and essentially that is the truth. Hi, Joey. Nice to see you in. Good morning, Lil. Nice to see you. Oh, what's up? Well, I don't know. I've had a lot of stress in the past year, I'll be honest. A lot of things that you guys don't know. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering where I am, this is my new house. Finally. Managed to get it eventually. Nice to see you in, Dell. Was it Dell? The Ham. Nice to see you in. This is one of the chairs that I've built. I have a set of 6. I've got a dining table to go with that as well. They're all in the boxes there. Oh, you have no idea. I mean, I've been ill for the past month, like really, really ill. I went to Scotland, and the day I left, I started with the flu. Then I got a chest infection. Then I ended up getting pleurisy, and then I was coughing so much that I've actually fractured 2 ribs, and I've got what's it called, muscle damage down where the ribs are as well. So basically, I'm pretty screwed. I was in the hospital yesterday again for more checkups. They gave me a thing on my arm, you know, where they had me in. Anyway, so now I'm on all this kind of crap down here. Anyway, so yeah, why did I nearly quit YouTube? Well, it's the drama. I can't be doing with the drama. Honestly, by the way, this is our living room. So last year, what had happened was I'd obviously done the research down at Blackpool, and what I hadn't realised is, or what I'd allowed to happen, was an endless amount of taking time off work, and that's my ribs, sorry. So yeah, so an endless amount of time off work, and basically this isn't the house that we were going to buy. We put a bid in on another place, and when I tried to get a mortgage, the bank said that I hadn't earned enough, essentially, because I'd taken so much time doing flat earth that I couldn't actually get a mortgage for the place that we wanted. So super stressful. This is going to be the office, by the way. So yeah, I'm hopefully going to get a desk to go in there. So yeah, super stressful, and so cut a long story short, it caused a lot of aggro, and I had to go to work really, you know, over the Christmas period and graft like nobody's business to get a bigger deposit together so that we could buy a place, and the place we wanted had sold, so we have to get this place, which I'm quite happy with, to be fair, all in all. It's a nice 4-bed. Oh, anyway, the drama on Flat Earth, it's the infighting, you know? It's the infighting, and it's like, I have to look back at the work that I've done and think, well, sorry, I'm just catching my breath. So the infighting, you know, going forward, what am I going to do? You know, I mean, if it's going to be this case where, you know, no observation is worthwhile doing, well, what's the point in doing observations, you know? What's the point if other people apparently in the past have already done the work that I've done, You know, people like John Watson, for instance, saying, "Oh well, somebody else has already done all this work, Ranty, blah 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 blah." Well, really, I haven't come across it. So, you know, I mean, it's like, where's the position for me in all of this, you know? And, sorry, I'm just in a bit of pain with these broken ribs, so just a sec. Let's see who's in, guys. Here we go. We've got David Abbs, Joey, Rob Wiggles, Steve Doubt, nice to see you in, guys. A few evangelists, nice to see you all in. Yeah. You're a great show host. Couldn't you do a weekly show? Suppose chemo's been smack talking you. Others just want to fight and want to divide. Well, you see, I'm not really into the drama, you see. I'm really not. I think that there's a bigger thing at play, obviously. And, you know, this infighting is only going to pull us apart. If you've noticed how many anti-flat earth streams have come up out of nowhere, and they promote each other. If you know this is what they do. And this bag of shit car out there, right, that is my car for the time being, because it's a courtesy car, right, and it's a fucking bag of shit. Because our car blew up on the motorway on the way back home from Scotland, you know, 3 weeks ago. And the garage said, "Oh, yeah, it's not a problem." You know, the guy, the AA man, said it was a head gasket. And when we took it to the garage guy says, "Oh no, it's the water tank, some valve and something else has gone. It's going to be like 300 odd quid." Well, that would be covered by the AA insurance, so it's not a problem. Yeah, get it done, get the work done. So I was due to get the car back on the Tuesday. Apparently they were waiting for a part. So Wednesday came, and then they said, "Oh, actually, it's the head gasket as well." So head gasket as well. That's, you know, that's another 600 quid on top. So essentially, we were running up to near £1,000 then. So now we've got to put our hand in our own pocket, as well as moving house and paying the solicitor's fees and everything else, and blah, 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 blah. And gets the car back finally last week. Red light comes on when I'm driving it away. Took it back. It was the oil pump. So apparently the oil pump has gone on it now as well. So they've had it there for a week trying to sort this oil pump out. Gone mad at them couple of nights ago. Eventually they rang us last night, said the car's ready, so we're going to be exchanging it today, this car. So God knows how much that's going to come to as well. It's like we wouldn't have had the work done had we knew that it was going to cost that much, because essentially the car probably wasn't even bloody worth that, you know. You won't be on your deathbed wishing you spent more time pandering to YouTube. No, well, that's the thing, you see. Well, it is a funny thing. You know, when I did that time lapse for Barrow in Furnace, and I was there, it was Christmas Eve, I think. It was the 24th of December. I had flu then as well. So, yeah, I had flu doing that. And the backdrop that Nathan plays on the back of his videos, you know, with all the scenes of mountains and stuff, I filmed that when I was in Scotland. Again, when I had flu. You know, I feel like I've given quite a lot to Flat Earth to try and make things a little different, to try and make things, you know, better. And it just seems like there's a lot of weight being put down both internally and externally. You know, I mean, you've got, as I say, the ball earthers are very organised, and the flat earthers are very divided, and I don't understand why that is. I just don't understand how there can be so many factions in flat Earth. I just don't understand why. I mean, essentially, we're all looking for the truth, right? We're all just investigating, yeah. We're all just trying to see, you know, what the shape of the world is and try and figure it out in our own ways. But we're so divided, and the globers aren't. You know, I mean, I just don't understand it. And you've got people like Slick, who I don't, he's come from nowhere, and his idea that observations mean nothing, um, and basically he's become a bit of a daily guest on Nathan's, and it's a little bit, I just don't agree with anything he says. I'll be honest, I just don't agree with it, and I feel that his presence on there is essentially setting back the show. What's this? Kinel, open your own hangout. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I could, um, but guys, I'm after some inspiration here. I think the past year or so doing these observations and figuring out the horizon. I mean, other people have expanded on this. I mean, nobody was talking about it a year ago. Now it seems like it's the hot topic, which is great, because other people are actually looking into this. So, and they're actually expanding on the work that I've done. So, I first talked about compression and the inferior mirage. Now other people are talking about it and expanding on that, which is brilliant, yeah? So it feels like I don't really need to do that anymore. I mean, what more can I do observational wise? Apart from, I mean, I'll still obviously go down and film and stuff, but are we going to learn anything more? Is there anything else that we can learn? Do I need to be sort of like leading the way in this respect when other people are now taking up that mantle and doing it themselves? It seems like it just seems like there's no point to do that anymore, because other people are already doing that. So, what's the next step on flat Earth? What should I start looking into? Because I'm very one-track minded. I mean, you guys probably know this. And I am very one-track minded. It's a case of I've never ever looked into anything other than optics and the horizon, and that's been my thing. So the next thing I would like to look into is, well, thanks Del West, Watson. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Much appreciated and very helpful at this time, actually. Because it seems that I won't actually be able to work now for another couple of weeks at least. So, crikey, that'll be 6 weeks without working. Wow, go figure. Anyway, so what am I actually going to do going forward now? What would you guys think that I should try looking into? Well, thanks, really appreciate that as well. What can I do? What would you like me to look into? Because doubtlessly I'll be like a dog with a bone trying to figure out whatever it is that we're going to be looking into. Here we go. We need to get 2 circles, 1 ball. Right, okay, run to use them. Okay, well, let's think about this. Give me some ideas. Give me some ideas of what you'd like me to look into. I mean, we've got Martin, who's doing his own stuff with the fake history, right? Which I absolutely believe. Thanks, Trish. Thank you very much. Again, much appreciated. Get up to hills to shoot coast to coast. Actually, James, do you know, if I'd been feeling better when I was in Scotland, I would have done that. I had some things I wanted to do. I wanted to climb a few mountains whilst I was there, but I was too ill, so I couldn't actually do that. If you look back on my earlier videos, though, you will actually see a video where I climbed Ben Nevis. So I have actually climbed the biggest peak in the UK. So it's not like I wouldn't have done it. Yeah, I just need some inspiration, guys, and I also want to know, what do you do with what's going to happen with this divide and conquer rule that's going on right now? It seems like there's so much infighting at the moment, so much distrust. People like Pete Shea saying women are, for the majority of women that are in Flat Earth, he's calling them trans. I mean, I just don't understand it. Does he not get out and see that women are just, they come in all different shapes and sizes, and they do. They come out in all different shapes and sizes. It's it doesn't necessarily mean they're trans just because they might not look like a supermodel. Trish, no, you're not trans. I know it's really crazy, but it doesn't help. You know, this sort of stuff really doesn't help. Calling people trans and stuff like that. I mean, what does it achieve? What does that help flat Earth in any way, shape, or form? You know, does it actually achieve anything? I don't think it does. Oh. Are you near Hoylake, Daz the cameraman? No, unfortunately I'm not. It's quite a distance to go. Okay, so a history is a story. Yep, it is. Come on guys, give me some inspiration. I want to do something different with the channel. If I let you into something, I'm going to let you into something now, guys. And this will be a first. But I've been approached to work for an independent company, investigating all kinds of stuff like, you know, all the different conspiracies that are going on right now. So it's not just going to be flat Earth, and you know, they want me to be basically a bit of a journalist in that respect. So that's going to be happening soon, probably within the next month. But I still want to keep the flat Earth stuff going, absolutely. And part of the investigative nature of this new news stream, because it is going to be a new news stream, it's essentially going to be a bit like Alex Jones. They already have offices throughout the world, all ready to go. And they don't have anybody doing the flat Earth stuff. So essentially, I'm going to be working with them on that, as well as, you know, other stuff. So I need some inspiration, guys. You're going to have to help me out here. What would you like me to look into in regards to that? Don't do it, they will control what you say. Nobody will tell me what to say, Trish, believe you me. I have no problem in walking away from any kind of job if they start telling me what to do. I've never been that type of person. I will not be controlled by anybody, absolutely. They will suck you in and do a Joe Rogan on you. No, they won't. And I'll tell you for why. Because if you remember some time back, when I was with Arwin, talking to him about this level 32 Freemason, he's the guy that's setting it up. I actually decorated his offices for him. We got talking, and when he told me the scope and scale of what he has planned, you know, we've been collaborating about this before he actually launches, and he's all for exposing these people, you know. Oh. Oh. Do you know, this bugs me. Every time we walk in here, it's got this bloody sensor up there, and it sets the fan off, which pees me off. Oh, crikey. So yeah, so this is going to be my office anyway. So this is going to be my office. This is that painting that I picked up for £3. In fact, I picked all these up for £3 each. Let's see if I can get it in focus. Come on, camera. So these are the paintings that I picked up for £3 each up in Scotland. I actually like this one. This is my favourite one, believe it or not. Now, when I showed it Nathan originally, he went, "Ew, ew, what a horrible painting. And I was like, no, actually, I really like that. So I'm going to put that on the wall behind me here, and I'm going to have my desk. And yeah, so there we go. Yeah, there's that crap piece of car out there. Okay, so who else have we got in? A travelling reporter confronting FE pains in the assist dividers. Yeah, that would be quite cool. But right, come on, guys. I mean, this divide stuff. Why? I honestly can't be doing with it. I honestly can't be doing with this this divide stuff. This is one of the reasons why I almost quit. It surprised me when Multi-Tom asked me to remove his wrench, and I'm like, why? I mean, we've always got along, you know, and all of a sudden you get people like John Watson saying stuff, because essentially I was asked by FE Core to become a member of FE Core and help them along with the optical side of stuff at the Horizon. That's my input. So it's not a huge input, which I was grateful to actually be a part of. And these guys are actually working very hard to try and find the shape of the Earth. And they're putting a lot of effort into this. I see these guys are constantly on Skype, back and forth. I'm part of that group, obviously. And their main and only focus is to find out the shape of the Earth. That's it. So why are they being vilified? I just don't understand it. And why, by association, am I being vilified too, when, you know, it's like, you guys have known me from when I first started this channel. I had another channel before that as well called Ranty Rant. And this is, you know, this is my, you know, my new channel. But, you know, I mean, I've been on Flat Earth for, seems like forever, you know. Okay, well, again, Trish, you know, I wouldn't agree with that at all, because they haven't released a quarter of the stuff that they've been doing yet. They want to get it absolutely nailed down. But you'll be amazed when they release all of the stuff that they've been working on for the past year or so. You'll be blown. You'll be like, oh, you'll be like, guys, what? These guys have done all this. They've figured out all this. They've done all this. You know, you guys are giving them a hard time, but you don't know what they're actually doing. I'm a privy to this, and I can tell you for sure that when all this gets released, you guys are going to be over the moon with these guys. Yeah, I think I need to get that piece of wood off the roof. So, we got a spare room here. I don't. No, I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting FE. I came close to it. So what did you say? Have I ever discussed the findings with a scientist? Well, in case you're interested, there are scientists that are on the flat Earth. You know, plenty of people that have come to flat Earth from the, you know, from the scientific community, and you know, they're starting to wake up too. So it seems, you know, if you think about it, the anti-flat earthers are only in it for the subs and the views and the comedy gold, because in their opinion it's just comedy. You know, they can you know, they can put a video out, and because they have what's called an appeal to consensus, which is that the majority of people, you know, let's say 95% of people believe, you know, in the globe model. So they've got a lot of people that will be congratulating them on the back. You know, they've got a lot of sites that they can go to that say, yes, the Earth is flat, and all the scientific community and all this, that, and the other. But when you hold the toes to the fire, they don't have anything. But they don't need that. their audience doesn't need that because they're taught it in school, so their audience doesn't need to know that they have no scientific proof, you know? Hang on, let me just, I'm just trying to read through who's saying what. Yeah, Sleeping Warrior, honestly, it was the flat earthers that nearly pushed me over the edge, I'll be honest. Possibly the jealous of the FE core thing. Maybe they think it's controlled opposition, because it seems to me that the people that are actually saying that they think it's controlled opposition, and that, you know, other people in this community are controlled opposition, seem to be the people that are so far down the rabbit hole that they can't distinguish anything from everybody's under suspicion, you know? Permission to time out Dazza. Why? What's he said? Let's have a look. Jaren, interesting. We'll have the same moment. Sit down. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I actually thought about having a few months off, I'll be honest, because since I started on Flat Earth, which was back in 2016, when Tony, or Sleeping Warrior, was the one who contacted me because I'd done a video about Blackpool Tower, and I think he thought that I was some kind of trolling him. But basically, since 2016, so it would have been, I think it would have been about, actually, I would hard to guess what time of month. Maybe it was September or something. I think it was September, actually. September 2016. So what are we in now? So 29. So almost 3 years without a break on Flat Earth. Literally almost 3 years without a break. And, you know, it wears on you, you know? It does, it wears you down. And, you know, you get mentally worn out as well, you know? I mean, another point that you guys probably don't know is that I moved in here basically a week ago. So last Friday we moved in. And yet I've been with my partner for 5 years, nearly 6 years. And for all that time, I've had to stay at home looking after my mother, because my mother has what's called motor neurone disease. So if you guys have ever experienced anybody with motor neurone disease, if you think of Stephen Hawking and how he was paralysed completely with just his brain working, essentially that's how my mum has been progressing. They gave her an 18-month time limit, basically, because from diagnosis, most people don't live more than a year, so probably 18 months or so. And she's been dealing with this now for nearly 8 years. But when she got diagnosed, you know, I moved back in to look after my mum. And so, as well as coping with that, you know, I mean, she's got a family around her, which is me, my dad, and my sister. And we're the only ones that look after her. You know, she's completely immobile, and it's a lot to take on. So when he gets trolls like Mark Taylor, for instance, saying stuff like, oh, is she dead yet? Oh, I can smell her from here. You know, all this kind of stuff, you know. It's kind, you know, I mean, and it's not just him that say it either. I mean, other people jump on it too. So you've got that sort of stuff going on. And then the phone calls in the night, you know, people ringing you up, you know, waking you up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't they realise that my mum's, you know, asleep, or at least trying to sleep, and you got some idiot ringing up at 3 o'clock in the morning, as well as, you know, myself and whoever else, my sister, my dad, you know, and we're up basically 24 hours a day as it is, round the clock looking after her. And it got to the point where my mum said, look, well, basically, you can't look after me do this. You need to live your life. You've been with your partner for so long, and you're just letting your life dwindle away. So essentially, she asked me to try and get a life because I didn't have one. And my entire life was, looking after my mum, going to work, and doing flat earth. And then I got in a rut with the flat earth and let my finances struggle, which is why it's taken so long to actually get this place. And it put a lot of pressure on. So there's been a lot of reasons why I should hate flat earth, A lot of reasons why I should really hate flat earth. But, I don't. I love flat earth, but I feel like the optical side of things has run its course. And guys, I need you to try and give me some inspiration for looking for something else. Right, who've we got in? Nathan, nice to see you in, pal. Yeah, Sleeping Warrior, it's the infighting, mate. That's literally what sent me over the edge, I'll be honest. I could handle the trolls. I could handle the Mark Taylors. I could handle the abuse. I could handle this, that, and the other. But when the community starts to turn on you for no apparent reason, oh yeah, that's where I had the blood taken yesterday, and that's where I had the ECG, is it, for the heart? Anyway, so I can handle that, I can handle the trolls, but what I can't handle is the infighting. So people like, as I say, Mark Taylor, not Mark Taylor, Multi Tom Tom, John Watson, Dell, and I'm going to include Dell because he is divisive, whether you like it or not. And I love the work he does. I enjoy the fact that he's kept at this and kept on, but he is a divisive person, has to be said. And I wish he wasn't. I tried to reach out to him. He basically threw my hand away when I put my hand out to shake it. He basically threw it away. And it's like, where do these people, what's the point in having a YouTube channel and being somewhat popular if you can't come together with other like-minded people as a common good for the community? Seems like you have platforms where you could help each other and you don't. And this infighting is pissing me off. And yet you look at the Globers, how organised they are, yeah? Look how organised the Globers are. Honestly, they're promoting each other left, right and centre. Every single one of them promotes the others. There isn't a single anti-flat earther that doesn't promote the others. And they're really killing it at the minute because they've got an audience. And who cares? Are you talking to me, Nathan? I care. I care, Nathan, because this is bigger than the individual, This is bigger than the individual. So, give me some inspiration, guys. What shall I do? I've got this opportunity to work with this new company, talking about all kinds of stuff, 9/11, all the other conspiracies that are going on out there, going deep into it as well. So, but where can I take flat earth myself? What can I do? The optical side has been done for me. I've achieved what I wanted to do. I've achieved the aim, and other people are taking up that mantle, so there's no need for me to carry on anymore. I've started the ball rolling, those guys can carry it on. It's great. Compression, inferior mirage, these guys, they can knock it out of the park from now on. But what can I do next? I'm looking and nobody's giving me any kind of anything to work on. Come on. Hey Rude Earther, nice to see you in, mate. Rude Earther, we've still got some experiments to do. Well, tests. Yeah. Up in Scotland. I want to do that Scotland one. I definitely do. Follow the sun, show it doesn't set. Okay, Trish. Okay, seeing as that is actually something that I was somewhat considering, but not necessarily in that particular way of saying it. I think I will actually. Right, just not bank holiday weekend. Okay. Just not bank holiday weekend. Fair enough. How about probably 6-7 weeks or so. Nice to see you in Ute as well. Show the sun and moon together. I'd be so interested to look into the moon, I'll be honest. No, this isn't the attic room. This is the second room. Bedford level. Oh, is it? Really? Ron, Bedford levels tomorrow. That's amazing. Are you guys going to be doing this live? Because I wanted to do that with, well, back when I was first starting out, Antonio. We met up at a meet with Sleeping Warrior, etc. And yeah, he. I asked him if he would help with the Bedford levels, and he said he wanted to help. But when I contacted him about it, he never did because I wanted to do that test. So if somebody else is doing it right now, that's great. I mean, I know it was happening, but tomorrow, that's great. Let me just see. What do you think about Crow 777's two suns? Was it two suns or two moons? Right, well, listen, guys, I'm not jumping ship, if that's what you think. Not jumping ship. I need to get a shower in here. I think I'm going to take that radiator out, put a small one here, just up the wall, and then take that out and move it here, and then I'm going to put a shower in that back wall. Anyway. Right, hang on. All globe heads do is fight the reality they're presented with. That is absolutely true, Nathan, but if the audience doesn't understand that, so how do we as a community counter that? We have to have some kind of common phrase, let's call it a phrase, a common phrase that the globe heads will, you know, if all of us started using it, would work. You know, that we could trigger the globies to have to look into the fact that they've got no science. So let's think of a phrase. You know, I mean, we've got to come to some way of counteracting these things. Come on, Dazza the cameraman. Do you think that there is any proof at all, scientific proof, of the shape of the Earth? Yeah, this is pretty cool. Has Ranty seen sense and at last become a Globie? No, I'll tell you what I have seen though. I've seen a campaign to misrepresent flat earthers. I've seen a campaign to misrepresent the truth. I've seen a campaign not just by globe earthers, but by flat earthers to try and ruin the reputation of people for no other reason than the fact that they just hate an idea. The idea being that a group of individuals can come together and call them, well, and work in under the heading of FE Core, and that for whatever reason triggers them to then try and ruin the reputation of other people for no other reason than just the fact that they hate that idea, that concept. Whether or not they're all working for the truth or not seems to matter not, nor does the work that you've done prior seem to matter. You know, when you seem to have been let down by somebody because you actually believed them for who they were, and I'll take that as like John Watson. You know, I actually believed he was a stalwart flat earther, you know, who appreciated the work that I'd done. Never in a million years thought that he would go and turn his back on myself and the work that I've done simply because I'm a member of FE Core now. It seems like there's no reasoning with people like that, and I don't understand why they should suddenly try and ruin somebody's channel or, you know, integrity over that. Because if you've looked at the work I do, it is all about integrity. That is the one thing that I do have, and I can say that implicitly because I've never lied about anything on Flat Earth ever. Right, don't ever quit. Well, ooh, right. Had a little bit of a problem there for a moment. But yeah, seems like I can handle the globies, but you know, I have trouble handling the flat earthers that turn on you. I'll be honest. I don't see the point in it. By the way, guys, am I still live now? Can you see me in chat? I can still see. Right, okay, great, because my data ran out. I didn't realise I was using my data and I should have been using the Wi-Fi, but there you go. Right. Apparently Sleeping Warrior is still 24 minutes behind. Okay. Right, we all got you back. Listen, guys, all I'm saying is I just don't understand the infighting, you know? I mean, and I set a Patreon up, yeah? What, 6 months ago? I mentioned it, I think, twice. Just to try and get a little bit of help from the community to help out with the observations and stuff. And, you know, I got some support, which was great. And, you know, and yet you get criticised for that, you know. I think at the moment I'm collecting around about £30 every month. So about £7.50 a week. And, you know, people will use that as kind of a bashing tool to say, you're only in it for the money. Okay, well, let's run a little bit of maths past them, shall we? Just on my excursion to North Wales a couple of weeks ago, when I still had the flu, bearing in mind, literally when I still had the flu and I was just starting with a chest infection, my car was still in the garage and I had to take the train to get there, which involved changing trains 4 times. And then obviously the same on the way back. And I think the entire day cost me around about 80 quid. So if you figure that out and think, well, the community is giving me £30 a month, and yet I just paid out £80 to go down to Wales. Do you hear me moaning about that? Do you hear me mentioning it? Do you hear me going on about it? I'm saying it now, but I'm only saying it now because of the accusations that I'm only in it for the money. It's like, do these people not understand that that makes absolutely no sense when I can just demonstrate that just on one little trip that I've done, I already spent half of what I'd taken from Patreon. You know, does that not make any sense to these people? You know, when you're asking for people just to give you a little bit of assistance in that respect, you know, it's not asking the world. It's not like I'm asking for thousands of pounds to go and do an to go and set some experiment up like Slice Barcane is. It Slice Barcane? I think it is Sly. To set it all up and stuff. You know, I'll do it off my own back. So, you know, there's, you know, you've got that thrown at you as well. So that, you know, this is all reasons why, you know, people, you know, that it wears you down, getting caught, getting people saying stuff like this, you know. What am I finding here, Doc Michael? Well, you're finding reasons why I almost gave up Flat Earth. And I'll be honest, I removed all my videos. The backup now, well, majority of them are. Because ultimately, you know, when you see that the community starts turning on you for being a member of FE Core, you know, it already seems that, you know, what's the point in carrying on if that's the case, you know? Ranted those big cranks on YouTube trying to take you down. I know. And, you know, that's another thing. I mean, Seeds of Doubt's just said something there about the censorship, and censorship is dangerous because it's the flat earthers that are being censored. And if you look at my channel growth, and I'll say that in the loosest terms, I think I've lost like probably a dozen subscribers in the past week. And it's like, okay, how does that work? And yet you see the globe earthers, their channel sprouting, you know, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. It takes balls to be a flat earther. Yeah, it does. Well, that's the whole point of what I was saying before. It's like the globe earthers, they've got an easy ride, so to speak. You know, if you want to be a globe earth and make a globe earth channel, you've got easy street. You've literally got easy street because all you have to do is repeat something from Wikipedia, and you've proved your point to their audience. Their audience lap it up. It's like being back at school again. So to be a globe earther doesn't really take any kind of critical thinking or ability to use your brain, because they don't need that. They've got people that are just telling them what to say. Whereas flat earthers, they have to be a lot more diligent in the work to try and counter the arguments and put forth really good cases for why they're wrong. So, for instance, with the observations of boats going over the curve, so they say, we can counter that now with, you know, very reasoned and with examples as well, not just reasoned, but logic and reason with examples of obstruction and how that obstruction happens. Right, let's see who else has put something in. Right, okay, Dazzy, you do real world experiments and observations. That's why you bought a P900, okay. And what? Have you ever released a video that shows distant objects further than you would expect to see on a globe Earth. Have you ever released a video that shows an observation where you see further than you should on a globe Earth? And I will hazard a guess, because I haven't checked, but I will hazard a guess and say no, that you have never ever released a video that shows you seeing further than you should do on a globe Earth. That is my prediction, right? And the reason I will predict that is because you globe Earthers are all the same, is that you will never, ever concede a single point. You will never talk about anything that would ever go against your belief in the globe Earth. And that would be my prediction. And I would bet that I'm right. And yet, that's the difference, you see, between a flat earther and a globe earther, is that I will show obstruction. Sleeping Warrior will show obstruction. Other flat earthers, including people like Chucky, will show obstruction in their photography. They will show it because they have nothing to hide. It is the real world. But then they will also show how flat it can look. People like Red Pill Philosophy will show distant stuff far beyond the shape of the Earth, if you believe in the globe. And, here we go, Des the cameraman. Only because I have not encountered the situation, but I have filmed ships which appear to be sinking. So in the same breath, he admits that he's basically saying that he's seeing ships go over the curvature of the Earth, and that he has never, with his P900, ever, at any point, ever in his entire life, seen anything further than he should do, ever. Do you actually believe that? Do you actually believe that? You know, I mean, you're lying to yourself, Dazza the cameraman. And I know you're lying to yourself, because everywhere that you go, people have sinned much further than they should do. It's ridiculous to say it. I can't believe you actually said. All credibility for you has simply been lost right now, because what you've basically said is that you've never ever encountered refraction. That is what you said. You've just admitted that you've never ever seen any type of refraction at all in the place that you live. So all this argument about looming and refraction and seeing further than you should do, which happens in quite a lot of things that you see, you're saying that you've never, ever encountered that. Ever. Wow. I mean, I'm so... Nobody ever... Do not anybody time out Dazza the cameraman. In fact, please, Sleeping Warrior, anybody else, take screenshots of this, because I'm actually filming on my camera right now. So please take screenshots of what he's just said and send them to me at ranty@rantyflatearth.com, because if he removes those statements, we'll lose them forever. But you guys saw it, that he has never, with his P900, ever seen further than he should do on a globe Earth. Right? That's what he's just said. So that is the dishonesty of the Globers. Right there and then. Absolutely. I mean, he couldn't have scripted that any better. He literally picked that out of his arse, that comment, to try and back up to the fact as to why he's never released a video that sees further than he should. And that is absolute bullshit, because we all have sinned far further than anyone with a P900 or a P1000 has. That's just bullshit. And I'm calling you out on that. Absolute bullshit. Right, guys. Guys. Stop the infighting, yeah? Can't be dealing with it, you know? We're all just fucking people on our own little journey here trying to figure out the shape of the Earth. And we're already up against it with the mainstream. We're already up against it with the mainstream. We don't need the infighting as well. from the flat earthers. And anybody doing it, you know, you need to tell these guys to pack it in and get on board and just try and, you know, support each other as best we can. You know, there's just no need for it. Okay, guys, so last and foremost, the Bedford Levels is happening tomorrow. Any idea what time that's happening? Any idea what, you know, who's involved? Is it going to be live streamed? So if anybody's got that information, if they just want to talk about that now, because I'm really interested in that, actually. By the way, if I'm panting heavy, it's because I've got 2 broken ribs. Well, fractured ribs, not broken, but still the same. Fractured ribs from coughing. Oh, and here's the thing. Oh, here we go. Del West Watson doing the lasers tonight. Excellent. Is that going to be live streamed? Is it on your channel or is it on Roxanne the Globalist and Aya's channel? And there's another thing, yeah? Who would have thought that the flu, right? Because they go on about these get injected for the flu and stuff. I mean, I've never ever taken any vaccines for anything since I was a child. Since I was forced to take them, but never taken the flu ones. But imagine getting the flu, right, and having the flu, then it turning into a chest infection, then it turning into pleurisy, right, and then coughing so hard, literally coughing so hard that you fracture 2 of your ribs and you wreck all the muscles in that side on the right hand side. Can you imagine that? All from the flu, from the damn flu. What sort of thing, you know, who would have thought that would happen? You know, who would have thought that would happen? Anyway, so am I missing stuff here? Right, okay, so from coughing, wow, that's a hard cough. Yeah, it was, mate, trust me. Right, doing the lasers tonight, so, and you're doing it in the morning, right? Okay, I get you. So, on whose channel is it going to be, lastly? Because do a shout out, because there's 70 people in chat now that would love to perhaps take a watch of that as you're doing it. Right, okay, you're setting off at 4 AM to get there for 8 AM tomorrow. This is awesome. You're doing something that I wanted to do 3 years ago when I met Antonio. Or was it 2 years ago? It would have been in the summer. I don't know, 2 years ago, something like that. And you're doing something that I actually wanted to do. So I'm so jealous. So jealous. That's... What do you mean go to the gym? You know, what do you mean go to the gym? I got flu at Christmas, and then I got flu again 4 weeks ago. Sorry. Right, can you hear me now? Sorry. Did you guys miss all that then? Because I had my thumb over the bloody microphone. Right, okay. You'll get better in the gym. Probably. So you missed it all? Right, okay. Bloody hell. Well... well, I'm not going to say it all again, but guys, yeah, I guess if we look for, if you put flat Earth in the stream, Bedford Levels, if you guys are doing it tomorrow morning, us guys, when we search for that, if you search in the search bar, you can search for Bedford Levels experiment. And then what you would have to do then is you just, in the filter section, you just filter it out to check for live. So obviously then it will bring up whoever's actually doing a Bedford Levels experiment live at that time. So that's how you'll find them. So if you're doing that experiment in the morning, then yeah, can't wait. Guys, you know how to find them now. Right. Okay, guys. Right. I'm going to end this for now, and I'll probably do another one tomorrow. Um, Talk a little bit more about this opportunity to work with this new media outlet that's going to be launching very soon. So I'll talk to you about that tomorrow. So in the meantime, guys, I mean, thank you for all you guys that have given me the super chats. That really has helped out. Any guys that have supported me on Patreon, again, I absolutely appreciate that so much. It has helped. And yeah, I might jump on Nathan's later if he's around. And what's this? Hang on. Do you try collaborate with ballers with these experiments? Right, Dazza. I actually tried to speak to Sly Sparkane about how his experiment was doomed to fail and the reasons why. He didn't want to listen. He didn't want to know. I was talking to Rumpus and George Netanyahu. It was an offline hangout at the end of Jose John G. Gonzalez's stream, and we were talking about it. And when I tried to approach Sly about that to say how he could perhaps make the experiment a little better, he didn't want to know. So that's my experience with trying to help a globe earther about doing an experiment. And the only reason I did that was because he was putting a lot of effort into it, and people had actually helped him out financially to actually go and buy the equipment to do it. So I felt like I wanted to help in that respect. He didn't want to know, so okay, well that's entirely up to him. That's my experience with working with Glovers. Right, guys. I'll see you.